I'm Chanell Horton, and in this edition of Bitesize Billing, I'll be speaking to Sam Dennahy about what customers need from their billing software. Hi Sam, can you tell us why customer service has become more important to our partners?
Yeah, sure. So we know that in recent years there has been a shift in buying behaviour. Customers no longer buy solely based on price. Their decisions are much more emotional now. Buyers want to buy into a company, and they're looking for positive experiences and relationships with their suppliers. So we've worked really hard to make sure that there are lots of opportunities for our partners to give their customers those positive experiences through their use of our software.
And do you think there's anything in particular that partners need to get right?
So one area that we've really focused on a lot in recent years is communication. And we know that good quality communication is key to a strong relationship between customer and supplier. And we've looked at how and when and why our partners need to communicate with their end customers. Now, we know that communication is very personal. People want to be communicated with in different ways. Their role and responsibilities will dictate what they want to receive communications about. So we've therefore put a lot of energy into making sure that our partners have lots of options for communicating with their customers. And our software allows for communications to be offered in a variety of ways to really suit the preference of the recipient. So, for example, invoices we produce and the end user portals we provide offer a great non-intrusive way of getting key information out to customers. But when a more direct approach is required, then we can use email or SMS. But one thing that seems to remain consistent is the requirement for all communications to be proactive. And with our software, communications can be automated, which is a game changer for our partners. It takes away a lot of the manual effort and makes it easier for partners to communicate more regularly and proactively.
Considerate charging is a big theme in the billing world right now. Can you tell us a little more about it?
Yeah, so affordability and fairness for customers has been a concern for Ofcom for a number of years, and many of the recent legislative changes we've seen in our industry have been working towards fairer charging of our products and services. We know that bill shock is a nightmare for both the end customer and also the reseller, and there's now an expectation on suppliers to be proactive and to protect their customers from being hit with bill shock. With the economic climate the way it is, right now end customers are really relying on their suppliers to be considerate with their charging.
And can you tell us a little bit more about how billing softwares can help with this?
So we have extensive alerting mechanisms to highlight directly to end customers where their usage has triggered high spend, enabling them to act to reduce the impact. And for mobile services, we can go one step further, and our software can automatically apply bars so that it stops additional spending. Our bill limit functionality enables end customers to control and standardise the value of their bill. We promote self-service for bill limits, so end customers can manage the limits themselves from within our end user portals.
Is this changing priorities for our partners in the way they want to bill, do you think?
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing more and more that our partners want to move away from overage charges. They want repeatable and reliable revenue. And end customers also don't want to spend money on things they may not use, just to avoid high overage charges if they did ever use them. So our software allows our partners to package products together, giving them the freedom to create whatever bundled product offerings they like. Our partner needs to see the individual items that make up the service for a customer, but the end customer just wants a simple and standardised invoice. With our software, we also have a range of dynamic bundling options, which allow an end customer to pay for what they use. Bundles can sit dormant on an account to be triggered automatically only when needed. That therefore avoids costly overage charges. We also allowed bundles to be grouped together so that when the first one is fully consumed, then the second one kicks in, and therefore the end user never goes into out-of-bundle rates.
Have there been big shifts in recent years in the way that customers want to be billed?
So we are hearing a lot that end customers are getting more demanding and more specific about how they'd like to be billed. Now, a few years ago, it was all about consolidating billing, getting everything onto one invoice, and that did have advantages for both reseller and end customer. But now what we're seeing is a move towards separating everything back out again. end customers still want to consolidate suppliers. They want to have a smaller number of really good suppliers who give them lots of positive experiences. They want to keep it simple if they have a problem or they want to add something new, but they don't necessarily want all of those products on the same invoice.
And why do you think this is? What changes in customers' behaviours are driving changes in the requirements?
So they might have different people within the business that take responsibility for the costs associated with specific products or branches or sites. They might want to pay one-off charges separately to the recurring charges. They'll have specific projects for which they have an associated purchase order number, and therefore they want an invoice to correspond directly to that purchase order number. Now, with the economic climate the way it is, the priority for our partners now is to make it as easy as possible for their customers to sign off each invoice, pay on time and in full.
How have we reacted to these changes?
So we've responded to that shift by ensuring that our software has a range of flexible and scalable billing options. We want to ensure that our partners can keep everything in one place so that they have a holistic view of their end customer and the services they use, whilst also being able to carve up the charges and bill them in the easiest possible way for their customers to pay. We have a really adaptable account hierarchy, which will cope with everything from simple single invoice billing all the way up to the most complex of billing requirements, all within one system. And we've worked really hard to ensure that it's as easy as possible to set up a new account or change an existing account to be billed in the way the customer requires. We're always looking for new ways to implement new bulk tools and intuitive automated updates.
Thanks, Sam, that was great. And thanks everyone for joining on this episode of the Bitesize Billing.